Okay. So we're up to on page Tov Samach, the conclusion of the Maimer Hashem Omer Amachasa Vayera Tov Resh Ayin Daled, the end of chapter 2 Choresh Chav Zayin 227. So we already summed it up a few different ways, and here's how he sums it up now to answer the questions on the Parsha, at the end of the Maimer here. V'api hanal yuvan, according to above, we'll understand Mashakos, what it says, Vashem Omer Hamachasani Ma'avram. As we learned in the beginning of the Maimer, that when Hashem sent the Malachim, the angels, with the message that He's going to destroy Sodom, the wicked city of Sodom, so Hashem said, am I then going to conceal from Avram Avinu this act? So if you recall, in the beginning of the Maimer, he asked a few questions. Let me just sum up the questions which he's going to answer now. One was, the fact is, he was going to say, at the end of the verse it says, I was going to destroy his dome, so it's going to be revealed anyway. It's a matter of time. So what's this big thing of saying that, am I going to conceal it? It's a matter of time. In a few minutes, in a few days, Avram would know anyway he's destroying it. That's the question that he asked in the beginning of the Maimer. And then he brought the Medrash Rabbah, that this is connected to the secrets that Hashem reveals. What's the secret in this? Basically, what is the concealment? What does this concealment signify? I'm just going over the questions again. So it's not real Helam because it'll be revealed anyway, as I just said. Then it says in Medrash Rabbah,
nothing's real Helam, so everything gets revealed about it.
No, for example, the secrets of the Yud Gimel Midas Harachimim.
We'll know it.
No, it was only. No, it says clearly that it was never going to be revealed because who says that? No, there's a lot of things. There are things in Elikuz that are never going to be revealed.
Okay, so most things that we think are Helam aren't though.
But here it says, am I going to conceal this from Avram? He's going to. What do you mean? Am I going to conceal? He's going to say it's going to happen. Everyone's going to know, not just Avram Avinu.
Okay, so the Helam clearly mean at the present time.
No, he says a Helam, that it's a Helam, that the real Helam is only something that will never be revealed. For example, like I said, the Moshe Rabbeinu, because of Chetet Cheda'egel, Moshe Rabbeinu asked Hashem to reveal things, so He revealed. It was a specific request, but it was concealed levels. Here, this is the question that he asks. He says clearly, he says, Helam shekodim lagili ein helam be'emes. Any concealment that's just a matter of time is not, you're not going to really call it concealment. That's what
so most things that we call concealed aren't concealed.
No, all helam ha'atzmis are real concealments. That's what he's going to answer, obviously.
Of course.
It's not just, in other words, it's not just, from the Pasuk, Pashtus, Pshat and Pasuk, it means as if it's like some big thing that am I going to reveal.
Call the world Helam, the Olams.
No, but I'm saying that basically, what's the big thing? Hashem is saying, am I going to conceal this from Avram Avinu? It's like, what's the concealment? It's a matter of time, everyone's going to know it. So it's not really, it's just it's not a big chiddush. Okay. Then he asks the question from Medrash, where it says, on this pasuk, that Hashem gives the world to Avram Avinu. As we know from this pasuk, Hashem, he says, how is it hidden? How is this merumas? How is this alluded to in the pasuk? That He gives the world to Avram Avinu. He gives the universe. And also, he finally asks, what is this? What is the chiddush in this? Because everybody is given the world. It says the earth is given to human beings, and heaven is to Shemaim. So, what's the chiddush? What was given specifically to Avram Avinu that is not given to the rest of the world? What else does he ask? And what's the connection that Avram will become a great nation from this? What's the connection to the concealment? Essentially, the verse is full of questions. What is exactly God's consideration? Am I going to conceal it? So here's going to be his answer now. Obviously, he's based on the Helam of Chochmas Tema. The Kavana is the answer is not. The Kavana, what's the Kavana in this statement? Hamachasani Avram, will I conceal it from Avram? The Kavana is Galus B'chinas HaKisa Ve'Helam. The meaning of this is not a technical matter. Am I going to keep from him the news that Sodom will be destroyed? The Kavana is that he actually reveals, Hashem reveals to Avram the level of that is fundamentally concealed and covered up. And that's the continuation of the verse. Hashem Amar Machasa Hashem said, am I going to conceal from Avram that which I'm going to do? Even though Gili, action, Hashem says this is what I'm going to do, is Gili, that's just the revelation of the thing. As we spoke about Giluyim and Etzem, fundamentally, is Helam L'Gamri. The truth is, this is really a level that is completely concealed. Because in the action, you don't see any gili. There's no real revelation. It's just as doing it, but you don't really see the levels within it. This is the revelation of the Helam Ha'atzmi. That's what he calls it. The root of it is from the stimus ha'atzmi, which is like a level in obviously Atik, or it doesn't say Atik right now. The Atzmis, Chachmas Tima, yeah. The stimus ha'atzmi, the essential concealment of Chachmas Tima, Ubchinas Helam Ha'atzmi, the Ein Seif canal, and it's the Helam Ha'atzmi of Ein Seif, as we discussed earlier. So just to review what that means that there's a level in Alakus, in godliness, which is fundamentally concealed forever from existence. We can access it in different ways through Avodah and so on, but it's still on its own. It's not a level that reveals itself. It's etzem. So, like it says, for example, examples given for it. We spoke about etzem neshama, or etzem of the moir, of the source. Even here it doesn't use this example. For example, when we receive the light from the sun, we don't receive the etzem of the sun here. There are many elements of the sun that remain with the sun. We receive a reflection that's very powerful. The rays of the sun reach the earth, but the etzem of the sun remains where it is. If the etzem of the sun were here, we wouldn't be able to exist. Not just because it would be close of light, because the sun has all kinds of other properties. So that's in general, when a person reveals something of them, from their inner part of their soul, you can reveal parts, but you can't reveal the etzem. There's a part that always remains, what's called Helam Ha'atzmi. Now it shouldn't be confused with the concealment of Golus, even though it's rooted in Golus. The root of Golus is there, but on its own, it just is fundamentally concealed. So that's this level that he's talking about, the Helam Ha'atzmi. V'alzeh omer hamachasani, and that's is what Hashem says, hamachasani. Sheizgala b'chinas kisei hazeh. That when Hashem says, "Will I conceal this?" and then he goes ahead and reveals it to Avram, he's revealing this Helam Ha'atzmi, this kisui, this cover. Let's continue reading, and we'll try to explain it more as we read what he says. Hine Avram ub'chinas gili hakav kana.
How do we call it the Helam Ha'atzmi when it's being revealed? Because you just said that Helam is never revealed, so is that a contradiction?
On its own, it's not, and that's why the Chiddush is. Hashem says,
on its own. Nothing is on its own revealed. Everything's
no. There are levels that just a matter of time. For example, a teacher wants to give a transmission of information. Let's speak to a student. So this is just a matter of time. It's a process. Right now it's Helam. Tomorrow the child will understand.
It's not called the Helam Ha'atzmi.
That's not Helam Ha'atzmi.
But he just said that.
Hold on 1 second. That's not Helam Ha'atzmi.
It's not.
So there's a process.
Okay.
That like you said, it's right now it's concealed, but it'll ultimately get revealed. But it's even in its original state, it's not like beyond. But then, let's say the teacher decides, because of his deep love for his child or deep love for his student, I wanted to reveal something that I wouldn't reveal on my own. Reveal like a part of his personality. It's not a necessity, but out of the deep connection, he could do that, and that ultimately, yes, we may have to earn it through Kabbalah Sel or through Avodah, like he said here. So obviously, when we say reveal, ultimately, it's revealed that we can. That Hashem grants it to Avram Avinu, like he said. That was the Avodah of Golus. The father cannot give that love to this child regularly without a very profound yirida. That's what he said earlier. That it's the distress of the father about the child's sins or fall, whatever transgressions, that reveals that dimension. And on its own, it wouldn't be revealed. In a sense, what Tshuva reveals is things that on its own would never be revealed. Very simply put, had Moshe Rabbeinu, had the Jews not built the Egel, they would never have broken the luchos, the first luchos. They would have had a very big gili, luchos rishonos, or a very high level, but they would never have reached the Helam Ha'atzmi because they would have not fallen. Not getting now into the Ner Alila, the plan, Chatchila, right? But let's just talk.
In a sense, all Bellis has rule in mind. It's basically.
Yeah, correct. But if there was no Golus and there was no fall, think about it. It's a hypothetical. It's true. After the fact, we do have it.
More than after the fact, because we're waiting for the Gula now. We're sure the Gula.
No, but Chassidus talks about even the Ner Alila does not justify the length of the Golus. There's a lot of things that that we screwed up too. It's not
the fact that there's an Alila is the opposite. Alila would justify making it short.
Right, exactly. So there's a lot of parts that initially could have, for example, could have been done differently, shortened it, but after the fact, because the fall is so deep, it has to reach deeper into Atzmos. Look, let's be honest. There's also a point where the Rebbe once said in the Favrenga that in concept, since Atzmos is endless, really Golus, the longer it stretches, the deeper Atzmos. But there is a point where God wants it to be Begili. That's also part of the plan. It's not just reaching depths, you also want to experience it. So, but the bottom line is that however you twist and turn it, a tzaddik does not have the depth of the etzem as a Baal Tshuva has. Doesn't matter. Except when a Mashiach and the Baal Tshuva will give it to the tzaddik, in some way. Will be a trend. But on his own, a tzaddik was not tasted from that darkness, from that hunger and thirst, just simply doesn't have it. So tzaddik does not reach a Helam Ha'atzmi does not on its own. Now let's put it this way. Let's think of it in physics. The indeterministic state, quantum state, on its own will always remain a state of probability. Only according to Chassidus can we access it in this world through avodah. Physics is not. They access it, I guess, through splitting the atom or creating microchips, whatever. But I mean to say,
they use it, but they don't access it.
They don't have the concept of by us. There's the concept of the paradox of revealing the unrevealable. That's the point. Okay. The expressing the unexpressible. There is that concept. And when I said a few days ago when we spoke, that at the end of the day, even what Moshe asked, show me your face, is granted, but not through direct seeing, through bittul. So there's ways to get there. So at the end of the story
and those we still call that hell. Okay.
Yeah. Look, listen, you can go a step further.
You answered all my questions. Yeah. That's what we call hell. Okay.
Yeah, that's what
hell. The things that are uniquely revealed later on. Okay.
Or uniquely. Look, a lot of things won't be revealed later on. This would be aware. It says sometimes is this word. Atzmos has a lot of things that we will never even know that he has. So now, let me just say one more thing I wanted to say. The etzem, you could say everything comes from God. Yesh and Oir. But God did create a structure where a keli is not a light. Even though keli, you could also say, is a form of revelation, but a keli is created from God's power to conceal, not from God's power to reveal. Oir is God's power to reveal. So really there's like almost two emanations coming from God that will manifest in 1,000 different ways. One is revelation, one is concealment, and each has a milah. Revelation's milah is that it shows you it's God.
Yesterday we pointed out that it was going to be all pushed together in one hope.
After all this avodah, Oir and Yesh, exactly. That's neshama and guf, exactly. And each one will.
There's not going to be any boundary between Kalim and Or.
But there still will be two entities. There's still two so-called expressions. Fine. Remember, there's not part of the kavanah of dira b'tachtenim is that there'll be a geder called tachtenim. There'll be a geder called tachtenim, and even l'asudlove. It means that a lakus has manifested itself in I guess in dimensions that we can relate to. And those dimensions will constantly go through.
Eventually, won't go back to its premortal
self,
but at a higher level.
No, because there will. That's why that's the machlekes between the Rambam and the Ramban. Whether Tchis HaMesim is the ultimate reward. Ultimate reward is neshamas and gufim. There will be gufim. At some point, the bodies will not need to eat and sleep and maybe do the things that bodies do, but there will be always.
Which one says that?
The Ramban says Tchis HaMesim is the ultimate reward. The Rambam says Tchis HaMesim is only a stage, And the ultimate reward will just be souls, ethereal souls.
And what was the Rebbe's?
Chassidus, the Rebbe, no, the Alter Rebbe paskins like the Kabbalah, and Chassidus paskins like the Ramban.
Yeah.
That Ramban, both together. They'll be soul and body, not just soul alone. This is you find the Derech Mitzvah and Tzitz Mitzvah Tzitzis. There's a few places that it's elaborated on. But it's essentially, it is a philosophical issue, because according to the Rambam, logically it makes more sense. Why would you need bodies for? Let's all just be souls forever. We did our Veda. He also agrees you need a Veda of the body. But at the end of the day, it's just reward is just souls can relate to godliness much more than bodies. But Chassidus adds the Yesh part, the Yesh Amiti, that the Rambam.
It's not going to be bodies like we know it anyway. It's going to be a whole different thing. Well, we don't even have any idea what it's going to be. It'll be they're both right.
Okay, okay, so the Kisi. Oh, here we go. So Avram now is the Gili HaKav. Avram is his level is the Gili of Kav. Let me just add one more thing I wanted to say. This is right in the beginning of Samach Vov. He may say it here also. In Samach Vov, he asked the question, you have a Tzimtzum Arishan, complete concealment, okay? Then you have the Kav that transmits. So think of it like the teacher conceals his entire mind. Then he begins a narrow transmission, channel of transmission. And the Kavanah is to fill the cholol, to fill this black hole, the space, back with light of Elikus, through our Veda. So the question, of course, is, so what's the achievement? The light was there before too. There was the Tzimtzum, now there's only the Kav, and then we're going to fill it up. So it's back to square one. What was the Chiddush of Avodah? So the answer is two answers. One answer is that before it was not in Kalim.
It wasn't an orderly process.
Right. No, before it was, okay, you can call it that, but basically the Kalim was not receiving it. Yeah. So that's a Chiddush. It's more of a Chiddush for the Kalim. It's not necessarily a Chiddush in the Oyer, so to speak. It's the same Oyer. Right. And the second answer he gives that there'll be, once you bring it down into Tachtenim, there'll be even something that wasn't there even before the Tzimtzum. You'll draw down new Oyer from Atzmus that wasn't even there before. So, in a sense, it's a similar idea. If the transmission is regular, that's like the Tzimtzum is regular, then it's a Helam B'Shvil HaGili. So okay, concealment, to reveal more. But once you get to a point where the Aveda and Kabbalah Seil and Mesiras Nefesh, you like crack the rock, so to speak, and that exertion, and you draw new light, that's already a Chiddush. Because on its own, it wasn't necessary for creation. For creation, God just needed a certain minimal light.
That was a real Helam.
Right. Okay, so as he says, Avram is the Kav. Kanoidem Mashakosov, like we know from what it says, Mi Hayir Memizrach. Al Tikreher Ele Hayir. It says, Mi Hayir Memizrach. What city is from east? So you don't read it as city, but you read, not instead of an ayin and an aleph, who illuminates from the east. So that's Avram Avinu. It's like the illumination from the east, that's the Kav. So Ravam on his own is the level of the transmission of Elikus, but like a Kav. Upirish HaMechasanim Avram comes something new. Avram Avinu, before this story, where Hashem said, I'm going to reveal that which is concealed, Avram was also Eved Hashem. And he was a servant, and he did a lot of big things to that point. Avram Avinu. But till that point, he was just the Kav. Amachasan Avram added something. Hainu Sheba Kav, that the Kav, which in general is just a diminished light, that in the Kav, which is the narrow thread of light, should be revealed the Helam Ha'atzmi of Ein Sof. That was the Chiddush.
That was before the end, or even during the beginning of the Kav? That's not the bonus you get at the end. I guess
it's like giving Avram the koyach for us and the children, his children, to have within the kav that koyach. I mean, it doesn't explain here how it expresses itself. It's just that a new level of Elikus was revealed.
Potential when everything's done, or coming down immediately. I don't know.
I guess it's like everything. Avram Avinu was given, like Moshe was given, like Matan Torah. Things were given then for a moment, for the temporary for then, but ultimately the real revelation would be later. I don't know if he's going to connect it to his dome, but it sounds like, this is revealed to him when you're breaking the klippa. Remember we spoke about breaking the nafshabamas. So it's interesting that it's being given to him because the revelation is connected to the destruction of his dome. It's not just he's revealing to him some concealed level out of the blue. But let's see if he says that. That's what he brought at the beginning of the Maimer. There's the pasuk that says Seid Hashem l'Re'ov, the secret of Hashem to those that are in awe of him. Expression: the secret of Hashem to Yere'ov, to those that stand in awe of Hashem, like Yirei Hashem. What's Seid Hashem? What does it mean that the secret of Hashem? So Seid Hashem b'chinas helam atzmi. It's also the same idea. Hamachasa kisui. The secret of Hashem He gives to Yere'ov, to those that fear Him, to those that are in awe. I use awe specifically. Ayin Mashakosel bedrush Yom Tov shel Rosh Hashanah Reish HaMarvov be'inyan ve'emes Hashem. And look into the Maimer in Rosh Hashanah. This is about Emes Hashem. I don't know if you recall that Maimer, but Sheina Halachas. That Halacha reaches into the deepest Emes.
I thought it was Emes Hashem Le'evam. It's different to what it means that Mamish the Etzma Hashem comes into the.
Yeah, I think it connects it to maybe connected to halacha, maybe in a different place. Shazel be'emes seid sasum v'chasum be'etzem. In truth, this is a concealed secret that is sealed, fundamentally sealed. V'Avram shu b'chinas hagili kanal shu b'chinas erakav is gala be'b'chinas seid Hashem anal. And Avram, who's the level of the kav, in him will be revealed this secret of Hashem. Zev b'chinas primius hakav. This is the internal dimension of the kav. If you recall, he keeps referring to the internal dimension. The mashikosim miher memizrach zeh b'chinas primis hakav, because that which we just that verse that we just cited, who will illuminate from east? This is the level of primis hakav.
Okay.
Ukaneda, how come?
What's mizrach? What's mizrach shaying to that?
Probably says it somewhere. I'm not in some other maimer why, but
okay.
It's just referring to mizrach. East, it's coming from a deeper level. It's like any
other. It'll become like any other prophet that'll know that something that they're going to go into Galus and have a chance to pursue and beg the Amish not to do it. So that's what it turns out.
It could be, yeah.
I don't know, because we say that this is the idea of this is higher than prophecy. This is what we're dealing with here is higher than prophecy.
New prophecy?
This is higher than prophecy. This part of Halchim Pinim Mitzvah Simo is higher than prophecy.
It is?
I think so, yeah. I thought we said that.
In the last chapter he says Chacham Adab Punavi, Hasaga.
Yeah, well, that's
higher than
Paskin too, that it's higher.
Anyway, Chetzeni is a Kav Shashim B'chinas Malchus de Ein Seif. The external part of the Kav comes from Malchus of Ein Seif. Remember Malchus of Ein Seif? That's the lowest level, so to speak, of the Esser spheres Hagnuzis, the hidden spheres that are not really spheres, they're just for us to be able to speak about it. So the Malchus of Ein Sof is the root of the Kav. In other words, the Kav comes from the end of the Er Ein Sof before the Tzimtzum. But Pnimius HaKav, who begins Teferes HaNelam, Shezeh Inyan Mizrach. There you go. And the Pnimius HaKav is rooted in Teferes HaNelam, in the hidden Teferes, which is deeper in Er Ein Sof Lifnei HaTzimtzum, before the Tzimtzum. And that Teferes is the level of Mizrach.
Tiferes is Mitzad, it's
like the Kav Ansari, the middle rod.
sure.
Demis.
Yeah. Remember we spoke about this a while ago, that spheres, as we know them, they begin to take on tangible properties in Atzilus. Lifnei HaTzimtzum, you can't call them spheres, so they call them Esser spheres Hagnuzis, the concealed spheres. Essentially, it really means it's in an amorphous state where they're like the potential koyach hagvul, so to speak. I mean, there's different opinions what level it is, but it's essentially how God is beginning to envision the spheres that one day will become actual spheres. Now, remember, even Atzilus is also quite amorphous. Atzilus the Klolos, Atzilus the Protis, So, because Atzilus the Klolos is the level of Lifnei HaTzimtzum, so it's still a very. So when he talks about Teferes Hanelam and Malchus de Ein Sof, you're talking about those spheres that are in a very, very amorphous state.
Which is higher?
Teferes is higher.
No, which is higher? The Atzilus Klolos or Malchus.
Malchus the Ein Sof is like Malchus of Atzilus the Klolos.
Oh. So
think of Atzilus the Klolos as
so the Esther spheres of Genuza is the same as Atzilus of Klolos.
It's like the spheres of Genuza are like the spheres of
like are the same thing.
Everything there is all potential state. It's all potential state.
But they're different. They're two different potentialities.
No, Atzilus is the world, and the spheres are the
right. So that's what it's in that world. Okay. So what do we call it? So instead of saying as the spheres of Haganuzas, we can say as the spheres of Atzilus close to Atzilus close. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. I don't know, because different places in Kabbalah, some talk about the concept
we
of
assume it's the same thing at this point.
I'm convinced it's the same thing.
Okay.
I didn't see it somewhere specific, but all my knowledge of my Morim tell me that's what it is. Because that's what Atzilus the Klolos. Remember, Bria the Klolos is Ak. So Atzilus the Klolos has to be higher than Ak. And Atzilus means by nature it's not Bria yet. It's before the Tzimtzum. Okay. So anyway, Primus Akav.
Ak is also called above the Tzimtzum.
No. Ak?
It's both ways. Goes both ways.
Ak is always Bria. That is the first world after the Tzimtzum.
Yeah, well, instead of
Ak? Adam Kadmon?
Right.
Never before the Tzimtzum.
Never?
No. I've never seen it. There's no concept for it before this. It's Adam. It's
Adam and Kadmon.
I know. I understand.
It's the.
I understand, but
it's the Russian clothes.
I know we discussed it.
Tirila is higher than Ak. Ak is Tiratata.
Sure.
Maybe the root of Ak, the root of everything.
Yeah.
V'zeu gam kein masha omar b'medrash Rabbah helikim nosna se'elim l'Avram. This is also the meaning what it says in the Medrash that we spoke, that Hashem gave the world. It says, the pasuk says, "Se'elim nosam b'libam." Hashem gave the world to Avram. What does it mean He gave him the world? Like I said before, the whole earth is given to all human beings. Beautiful taich. Olam is from the word helam. It says that Hashem gave the helam to Avram Avinu. Not the world from helam. He gave him the helam, which is unique. This is not what it says that earth was given to mankind, to human beings. When it says the earth was given to human beings, that's for them to be mavarer. They're avoid. I'm giving you earth, refine it, elevate it, transform it. Birurim. And through this birurim from the bottom up, you also reach Gamke Magim L'Bchinas Helam Atzmi canal. You also reach the Helam Atzmi as we discussed through the Aveda. And by Avram it was through the tests, the 10 tests that he went through, that allowed him to reach this Helam Atzmi. Like we learned earlier in the end of chapter 222. What did we learn? Leave your homeland. What was Artzecha? The Lech Lecha means leave the chumriyas, the coarseness, the rawness of this world, and with the koich of Chezer, of the refractive, the returning light. I mean, Avram, through the Nisyanis, through his tests, one of them was Lech Lecha, leaving the chumriyas of this world. Through that Avodah allowed him to become a keli, to receive this revelation of the secret, Amechasa, the revelation of the secret.
That's Avram, yeah? That's Avram. In other words, he had this.
Then he was Avram, but then he became Avraham.
That's even higher then.
Yeah.
That's Penimis, hell.
It doesn't say that right now, but we'll see. V'zeu shekosav achachach v'Avram hoyu yiyeh l'gei gadol v'otzum. And this is the meaning, that it says that Avram will become a great and a mighty, an awesome nation. What's the connection? What's the connection that God revealed to him the secret? So his answer is because his galus, because through the revelation of this helam atzmi, of this fundamental concealment, the power that the helam atzmi gives, that he should extend, he should express and spread out the riboy adein shir in an unlimited amount, a multitude. Like we know in the Inyan, we say this in Tikkun Ezer Friday. We say Antu Chad, God is one, but not in the cheshbon, not a one that you can count. Like we learned earlier in the Maimar Shir Hamaylas, and when you go into the depth and the Pnimi is deeper, it comes out in a deeper way.
Because it's not limited.
Right. This is true on every level. Definitely when you have the revelation of the Atzmi, the Gili will be in a multitude, in an endless, without any limitations. What he's basically adding here is that the pasuk is adding that when you go into Helam Atzmi, you could think, okay, revelation of Helam Atzmi, but now you've been absorbed in this non-revealed type of state. The truth is the opposite. From that state comes the most expression. It's an endless type of diversity, endless type of diffusion, I guess. Not diffusion, that's the word. Endless type of spreading out. It becomes a great God of Atzum. It becomes a great and mighty nation that will spread out all over the world. And this is the meaning. Then it says Amachasani. Then I reveal the kisui. Another few lines when we're done here. That through revealing the secret, the fundamental Helam Atzmi, Avram will become a great nation. Atzum, like it says, that they will become vayatzmu, they will become strong, very, very strong.
Yeah, let's see Rabbi Mitzrayim.
That Rabbi Mitzrayim, right? That the more they suffered, the more strength to do. His galus atzmus, that through the revelation of atzmus, he is pashtus gadol va'atzum me'ed. The revelation of atzmus will be a very extensive, a very powerful and extensive, intense pashtus, revelations spreading out. And this is the meaning that it says Hashem says, "Well, I conceal this from Avram." The Bavram shobchins gilei akav yis galas b'chinas timus ha'atzmi, the chachmas timo b'chinas helam ha'atzmi, the ein seif, which is the root of that. That through Avram, that in Avram, which is the gilei akav, will be the revelation of the fundamental concealment of chachmas timo, primis chachmas timo, and which is rooted in the b'chinas helam ha'atzmi, the ein seif, and the fundamental concealment in ein seif itself.
Okay, so we've got
Avram,
this deep quality now.
Avram hoye l'gei gadol, and Avram will become then a great nation. Shaydei galus helam atzmi. He's just summing it up again. Through the revelation of this fundamental concealment, he is galus b'chinas ribi adein shir. Through that will be a revelation of a ribui, of a multitude without shir, without limits. V'zehu v'hoyu l'gei gadol v'atzim, and that's the meaning. That it will be a great and awesome.
He's leaving it to us to guess that Sodom is going to be like the animal soul or everything like that.
Yeah, right. Actually, he doesn't say it, but it's clear that that's. I mean,
he really thinks his readers are on the wall, huh? Okay.
It's also by voter. Everything's by voter. Even Avram is a voter by Nisyon. This is what accomplished all this.
Did you hear from any of the boys about putting up the stuff on the?
No.
What's our schedule? Tomorrow's normal. Sunday's normal. Yeah?
Tomorrow's
Sunday is good. I'm good till Tuesday morning.
I'm gone Sunday. I don't need to.
You going to get Sunday?
Depending on what time I take my plane leaves is whether I come.
Okay.
I'm going to go standby. If I get a standby
We talking
firm for early
food
plane, I'm going early.
What are we doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're going to play golf.
I like
No,
that.
it's 7 o'clock tomorrow.
No, well, what are we doing tomorrow? Where are we going?
7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
No, backwards or forwards?
No, we have the kids here.
No, I mean to say to continue on or to starting from the beginning. Look, right now we're the three of us. We're like we're the board.
With the board.
Well, so, no, we have to do the kids here and then.
You want it? Can I say it?
Say whatever you want.
Okay. Ayin Beis. We go back. We get the whole idea of
Go backwards and forwards any way you want, but to me it's all the same. Whatever you decide.
Okay. We stop here. We finished the Perek.
Yes.
Yesh Chav Zayin. Good.
And we'll do the kitchen tomorrow, but what we,
Yeah.
so it's up to us? It's up to you. It's in your boat.